podcast. Hello, Mom.
Hi, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for, well, technically hosting. In your house, but our my former bedroom.
Yeah, well, it's been quite a transformation, but it's been fun
It has.
and it's been interesting. And I'm excited to a lot of the stuff. I have to be honest, I don't know, so you'll have to. I'm educating myself and trying to learn about you know all of these things. Some of them that are very eye opening, jaw dropping, and things I should have been aware of. Like this. The Boston Marathon.
To be fair, I did not even know about her until like 2 months ago.
I didn't know at all. And I mean, these are things that I always think, these stories that we should know about, should be part of our history.
Yeah. So for you guys that are listening, what my mom is talking about is I have this poster slash like image from a honestly it was I don't know if it was taken in a newspaper back then who completed the Boston Marathon. She's like being chased down or like kind of I guess being held back from finishing by these guys.
Being subdued. Yeah. It's all because she's a woman.
Catherine Switzer, yeah, it's Catherine Switzer, yeah. February. What was this? April 19th, 1966.
1966.
Oh wait, I could be wrong. That was.
Sounds about right.
What makes you think you feel like you should be or where? I guess, or like what makes you say?
There was a movie. Do you remember that movie, Hidden Figures? I watched it. I think it was from Disney. I think it was Disney. But it was just such a great movie, and I remember going to get you and your brothers, and let's watch this. Let's watch this together. It's so important. I like look at what this woman did, and I never even knew about it. I never read it in the history books, and I had to find out about it like in a movie, just that I randomly watched. But I think these are such important things that we need to know, especially young women today, to see these role models and what they're capable of and how, she basically you brought home the astronaut because she was the only one that could figure out the math equation, in that movie, Hidden Figures. I mean, it's a great movie. So that poster or that article reminded me of that, like strong women. But I guess the bottom line is you shouldn't have to fight for, if you have the ability, you should be able to do it.
Yeah, Katherine Johnson was I think right. There was a couple of them. Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and
Yes,
Mary
there was
Jackson.
four. Was
Mary
there four?
Jackson.
And they would drive to work together.
I think it was three. Yeah, these women led extraordinary lives that were often described by the accomplishments of their white male colleagues. Yeah, I remember.
Do you remember she had to leave the building to go to the bathroom and like walk all across, what I mean? It just,
Yeah, I remember that scene with.
and no matter what, black, red, purple, green, black, white, women, men, whatever, you deserve to, be treated the basic decency, basic rights.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were
It
kind of
seems
talking.
like it would be simple, right? But sad that it's not.
I mean, yeah, it should be, but I think I feel like I don't know. I think people just like I mean, there's always been like discrimination and hate, right? But I think now it's just like more like available to like be seen, especially when it comes to like online and stuff.
Well, for me, the scary part now with what's going on in the current world with the current president, he's encouraging hate. And I think it's just a horrible thing that we might not ever recover from if we're not careful. We can't just sit back, you know. It is a powerful thing. If you ever have bought somebody a cup of coffee or in line in front of you when you're checking out or, behind you or say, oh, just a common decency changes the the tone and their body language. And I think there's no room for all this stuff, all this hate. We just need to be kinder to each other.
Yeah,
And I do think it is that simple.
to be kind. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, what's the old saying? It doesn't cost anything to be kind. Or,
Yeah. People just working together seems more logical than people working against each other.
yeah, I mean, sometimes, like, I don't even think people, like, mean to be selfish. I think everyone is just, like, so caught up in their own lives and, like, their own world. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, there's people that inherently, like, do, like, bad things, right? Or want to, like, cause harm without other motivations or, experiences within themselves, I feel like. Um, but I feel like most people, like, because I used to think, like, oh, that person definitely meant not to, like, wave, I don't know, like, wave back to me or something like that. But, like, maybe they didn't even see me, you know what I mean? Or, like, maybe the person that cut you off in traffic was just, like, worried about, like, picking up their kid from school on time and they weren't even really thinking, I don't know. I think that's just the way I think, is, like, I think everyone is just so caught up in their own bubble.
I think that too. And like the Mel Robbins thing we talked about, the let them,
Hmm.
but I think, you have to control that. And I think, but she has a really valid point. Like if you're in the grocery line and you get stressed out and we all have to control that and not get worked up and be like, you know, because then that transfers into you get aggravated, then you go out into traffic and or aggravated or even more aggravated, and it just excels and accelerates. And then by the end of the day, you're exhausted from all of those transactions that takes your energy, you know? So those little things, like I think if we could change that, and why are people like racing through parking lots? Like, where's everybody going? Like, calm down. Just I don't know. I think there's a lot we can do just in everyday life to make things better.
What would you say? What do you try to do, like, in your everyday life to make just like being kind to everyone around you?
Well, you don't have to. You already know the answer to this. I talk to everybody. So I know a joke, right? When you would always say them in the ladies' room, or you know them from high school, right? Because one or the other. But no, I think it just holding the door for someone, or saying hello, or just being nice. And I genuinely like compliment people. I like your blouse, or your hair looks nice, or you did
Uh,
something different.
Everywhere, yeah, I go with you. I feel like you give at least one compliment to someone. I used to give a compliment to that hair lady today.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I'm but I don't say it if I don't mean it. I'm not just trying to, like, I just noticed that, and I think people are like, oh, wow, thank you. If it makes somebody feel good and it's a genuine compliment, what's the harm in that?
Yeah,
So that's what I sort of meant by just kind of being kind. And maybe she felt a little better about herself when she went home tonight, right?
yeah,
So that's always a good thing.
that's a great trait. That's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
things I love about you. You're very just like sweet and kind, but like you said, it's like authentic. And
Well, thank you. Thank
yeah,
you. I try. Sometimes I talk a little too much, but it's fun. And yeah, I enjoy talking to people. And you just never know. And I always find out, I think you can meet people and you just never know what their story is, where they come from, what their family's like. That's the one part about my job that I love, like working with all these different people and getting to really know them and know their family and help them and be able to help them grow their business and, be able to be successful and kind of partner and do things different. It's kind of neat to see. And I feel really rewarded when I have, I don't know, at Christmas time and they think of you and they remember you and they appreciate, what you do for them. So anyway,
do you like always think this way? Do you think, in terms of like has their own unique story, or like, oh, if I make, if I'm just kind, like maybe like you said, they'll remember it, or you don't know, or like were you always like I guess like open minded, I guess I should say. Like your viewpoint in the world, I feel like is very like positive, very like sympathetic.
definitely am an empath for sure. For sure. Sometimes that's hard because you absorb that negative energy of a lot of people around you if it's, And a lot of people take advantage of you, as you know, because you're very kind and compassionate like that. But no, I think honestly, you won't believe this, but as a child, I was very quiet. I hardly ever talked.
Really?
I was very quiet. And I remember like how this is so stupid. This is like so stupid. But I remember we went to the drive-in movie, and I remember sitting in the back of the car, and it took me, I can't even tell you how much time to ask, can I have money to go to the snack stand to buy a chocolate bar? I was so like shy and like, that's so dumb. And they're like, my dad's like, yeah, of course, there you go.